welcome back to Regular Secular Mama. I am stuck in my truck waiting for the rain to stop. So if you hear little like pitter patter sounds, it's the rain on the top of my truck. But I thought I would take this opportunity to go ahead and shoot a quick informal video because I really wanted to participate in a collaboration hosted by my friend Niki over at Homeschoolology. So a group of us homeschool moms were talking about planning and how we're setting up or what we're using for planning for the next school year. Now, what I really wanted to do was to show you the actual planner that we're using. Unfortunately, I waited too long, I procrastinated, and I did not order my planner until earlier this week, and so it won't get here until maybe next week or the week after. I'm not really sure, but I won't have it here to show you yet. I'm planning to do an unboxing video later when it gets here, but I will go ahead and just introduce myself, and then I will talk to you a little bit about what I thought about and my thought process in choosing what we were going to use and how we were going to do our planning system, and then I'll show like a screenshot of the website that I used to order my planner. If you've been following for a while, you may already know that I use kind of a combination of digital homeschool planning and paper or analog homeschool planning. So I use Notion to kind of organize my lessons and especially all the details that go with really complicated lessons like history lessons where there's a lot of books and YouTube videos and like other resources you're pulling together. So those are going to stay the same. I'm still going to be doing all that in Notion, but pretty much everything else I'm kind of stepping away from the digital side of things, and I'd like to stick to mostly an analog system because it really works better for me and it helps to kind of keep me grounded and keep me focused and staying on task, which is a really, really hard thing for pretty much everyone in my family. One thing I have really liked about the system that I've been using the past school year was disc-bound planners. Okay, so I grabbed a Happy Planner just to kind of try it and see, is this going to work for me? Am I going to like it? I got like a super duper discount on it. I think it was even on clearance at Hobby Lobby. And I just wanted to try it very inexpensively to see if it was going to work for me. There are some things I really don't like about it. I really preferred a spiral bound notebook, which is something I had the previous school year. A spiral bound book is just a little more sturdy and I felt a little more comfortable like throwing it in my purse and bringing it with us wherever we go. Even though it's not, super duper sturdy, I feel like it did hold up pretty well to just regular everyday use, and the pages don't fall out or anything. I can even like pick up my planner by holding a couple of pages. So I mean, it does hold up really well. The biggest benefit for sure of using a disc-bound system is being able to move things around, take them out easily, but not, destroy them, and then add things in wherever you need them. So because I like that aspect of it so much, I went ahead and decided to continue using a disc-bound planner. A company that I ordered a planner from last school year, so the previous school year, the 21-22 school year, was a Plum Paper planner. I don't know if I shared a whole lot about that on YouTube, but I know I shared kind of a quick live unboxing of that planner on my Instagram channel. So if you're curious, you could, dig through my reels and see if you find it there. That planner held up really, really well. The paper is a dream to write on. It's very smooth. It just feels nice to write on. I don't know if I'm the only person who likes that kind of thing, but I really enjoyed that. The paper is really nice. And I like that Plum Paper allows you to customize a whole lot about their notebooks, about the planners. So you can customize exactly what layout you want. You can change the title headings or subject headings on different parts of the weekly layout. You can change whether it's a Sunday or Monday start, which is great for me because I use a Monday start, but it's not very common here in America to have a Monday start. So that's really nice that you can do that. You can add your own holidays or special things like people's birthdays to the calendar. So I went ahead and decided to use Plum Paper again, but I'm using their feature where when you order your planner, you can opt to have it disc punched, and then it comes already printed and punched and ready to put, together in your disc bound planner. This is the first time that I've used that option from them. I normally get spiral bound, and I even tried kind of rearranging the spiral bound pages by taking the spiral off of it, and that worked okay, but I wanted to move things around more frequently and that was just too much work to move things around, weekly or whatever. Anyway, I was on Plum Paper's website and I was playing around with things and I was trying to design my cover, and I showed my kids, you know, what do you think of this cover? What do you think of this cover? They were really interested in it and they were kind of curious, like, well, what is this? Why are you ordering this? So I showed them what it is, and I didn't consider using a disc-bound planner for them because I thought it might not be sturdy enough for them, but I think maybe it will be. So we are going to try using disc-bound planners for them next year. The benefit to doing that is that my daughter, she already gets printed what I call agendas for the week, and it just lists out all the things that she's required to do for homeschool for the week, and then she transfers that information into her weekly plan for herself. It's been a really nice way for her to, you know, practice being independent and having that autonomy to choose what days she's going to work on things. Because she has these printed out pages that, you know, she has to figure out what to do within her planner, this is going to be really nice because all she has to do now is punch it and then she can stick it in wherever she wants it and it won't get lost. For my son, this is going to be quite a big change because what he normally uses is more like a regular lined journal, usually a hardcover journal, something that's really sturdy because these kids are not easy on their stuff, okay? This is going to be a little bit different for him, but what I found was one of the add-on pages is actually a layout that works really, really well for the way he likes to have his week set up. I'll show you, of course, in a screenshot here how that all looks. I'm going to show you what add-on pages I chose and why I chose them. As soon as everything comes in the mail, I'm going to do an unboxing and show you, you know, everything up close and personal. And I might show a little bit about how we, you know, arrange our planners and how we set them up. But let's jump on the computer now and I'll bring up the screenshot thing and you can see, you know, what I ordered and how I did it. So it's just plumpaper.com, super easy, but I will put a link down in the description, of course. What I think I'm going to do is walk you through actually setting up a planner and ordering it yourself, so you can kind of see how that looks, and also I can show you all the things that I included and why I did it that way. Take a look at the website and play around with it. There are so many different options for how you can order planners. You can get them saddle stitched, you can get them already done and undated, you can have like a short, quick version of customizing your planner. There are lots of, you know, ways to do this, but I'm going to fully customize my planner so you can see everything that you can possibly do. I mentioned that a couple of years ago I got a spiral bound plum paper planner and that worked great. But this time I'm going to do a disc bound planner, so I'll show you how that works. I always do 7x9. I feel like it's the best size because you have room to write everything. It's a little bit wider than the A5 size, but it isn't quite so huge and take up all that space on your desk. So this is what I went with. Now, if I was putting very, very detailed lesson plans, I think I might go with the larger size and then just, you know, plan to have it laying out on my desk all the time. But I don't put quite so much detail in my lesson plans. I basically just do a little checklist so I can make sure we got to everything. So that's why I go with this size. You can come in the website and explore. There are tons of different layouts that you can do, multiple different layouts under each category. They even have these teacher layouts that actually come with a separate section that has pages just for planning that type of school. So if you're an elementary teacher by chance, you can get a planner that has a section just dedicated to elementary school teachers. There's a homeschool section as well. And these layouts are actually very similar to some of the layouts that you see up here. However, I found that that homeschool section didn't have quite enough that I needed, that I felt like I needed to dedicate an entire section just for that. So this year, or for next year, I went with just a regular planner that didn't have that extra teacher section. This is the layout that I went with, so let's go ahead and customize it. There are tons of different options for the covers that you can go with. I don't want to spoil the surprise for when I do my unboxing video, so I'm not going to show you the actual covers that the kids and I designed. So I'm just going to pick another cover to go with. Let's do this. This is bright and cheerful. And I like to add this clear cover over the top of the synthetic cover. The synthetic cover is what will have this actual design on it, and then the clear cover, of course, is clear, but it's a very thick plastic clear cover, like an acrylic, I guess. It's very, very clear, It does get scratched up, but it protects the pretty cover that you designed, so I like to have that on top. Next up, we can customize this cover even more by adding some text boxes. We can change the color that actually coordinate very nicely with the rest of the design. And you can add a photo if you want. I have not tried that yet. You can change the shape of this. You can add text on the bottom if you want to. You could have it just as a space on the bottom and not have a box at all. You can add the year at the top, which I opted not to do because I didn't want to only have this cover for 1 year. I want to be able to switch out these covers as, as I feel like it. So let's take this off. I think I liked actually that round one. Let's just put my name in there. Cute. Okay, we'll go with that. They have a couple of different color schemes. Ooh, this is like brand new. This was not even up here earlier today when I was looking at the website. I ordered this planner last week, so I missed out on a lot of the updates that they did. My layout looks a little different. It has a little more color. There's like a bar here where the text would be. Now they have, ooh, like a super duper neutral. I really like that. I kind of wish I had seen that, but this is what I went with, is this modern color scheme. Just for fun, let's choose that one. Here's where you can really do the most customization. You can add your own text to pretty much any boxes that they have on here. And this is going to depend on your layout. So let's say you actually went with this layout. You could, put in different subjects here, different children's names, different parts of your day, like your work day, your school day, your chores, things like that. You can customize this, any number of ways. Since this is the layout that I went with, I didn't actually customize it at all. I just went with what they gave me. Because this works well for me, I didn't see a point to put anything here, and I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to wind up putting here. I just like the extra space there. Just for fun though, let's go ahead and customize it. What do we want it to say? We want this to say remember. No, we don't. We want it to say teacher tasks. I usually use this space for things I call teacher tasks. They're, separate from my other chores and things. They're like, remember to print this out, or I'm missing this assignment from somebody. And I usually use this space to help me keep track of what library books are due. So that's what I would put there. This section I thought was a little bit redundant. I'm not sure what all you would put there because it just pops up the same every day, but let's just say today. And down here, I feel like this is probably what I'm going to wind up using this space for, or maybe just meals, and you can have, breakfast, lunch, dinner, or I don't know, I'm not sure. I might wind up with more of a priority list, but we'll see. That's why I left that blank. You can also customize whether it's a Sunday, Monday start, which I really, really like because most of America does Sunday starts, but I like having a Monday start because then my weekends all clump together at the end. Okay, let's move on. You can also customize whether your month is going to start on a Sunday or Monday, and it's separate from the week. So if I change this and I want it to be a Sunday start, my week is still going to be a Monday start. So I like that too. You can specify when exactly your planner is going to start. It could be any time at all. I usually get mine to start the school year. You can have this anywhere from 6 months to 18 months worth of planner pages. So if you know for sure this is a layout that works for you, you can go ahead and just stock up and get 18 months worth. And especially if it's disc bound, you can just, add in the months that you need instead of having this huge chunky notebook. Then you can add your holidays and maybe people's birthdays or anniversaries or whatever dates you want. You can save these dates to your profile, and then every time you make a new planner, just check this box and those populate automatically. You don't have to come in here and enter each date every single time. So let's go ahead and just put some holidays so you can see what that looks like. I'm not going to show you all my kids' birthdays and stuff. So here's how it will look. It will print down at the bottom of whatever day. Sometimes you'll have, multiple things on a day, and that's how that will look. Here's our binding options. So this option was new, I want to say a couple of years ago, that you could get your pages disc punched ahead of time. And that's what I went with for the next school year because we're going with that disc planner. And this way I can bulk up on pages and they aren't already bound together. I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. Again, even more customization. You can add tons of different types of pages. You can add some pages that are dispersed throughout each month. For example, this shopping list page, you can get it dispersed where it'll have one extra spread or page per month. Or you can have something like this where the meal plan is like a whole section at the end of the planner. I think you can even request that they move sections around. I've heard of people asking for them to put that homeschool teacher section at the front of the planner rather than at the end of the planner, but I think you'd have to specify that, within your order in the comments section. But normally they come at the back of the book. Okay, so my rationale when going through this order is I wanted to get just the pages that I need and not a bunch of fluff and stuff that I didn't need. So I talked to the kids and we decided on how their planners were going to be set up. My daughter used a conquest journal. It was Harry Potter themed and it was really cute. She really, really likes the divider pages that are in that journal, and they are not actually connected to the month spread. So when I do the unboxing, I might do a separate video actually to show you how we set up those planners and put them all together. But what she's going to do is she's going to take those dividers and use them again as dividers in this planner because she likes the pictures so much. Then the spreads, the weekly spreads for Conquest Journal, are very similar to the way that Happy Planner sets up their spreads. Since I bought that Happy Planner and I didn't wind up using the pages that I was given, I wound up printing out my own pages. She is going to use those pages that are already predated, and I think I have those until it's either the end of this year or the end of the school year. So we are set for her weekly pages for a while. My son, on the other hand, does need some pages. He normally uses like your basic lined notebook or even a hardcover notebook, something sturdy and that's very simple that I can just list out his assignments. What I found is down in the notes and lists section, they have like line pages, dotted pages, and then in the lists, there are these to-do list pages. These actually wound up being perfect because it's exactly how I would lay out his week in his notebook. I would put day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and then just have a list of assignments for him to check off as he does them. With this layout, he actually winds up with his whole week on one page. So I think I went with like 30 pages in a section at the end of the planner, and that gives him, I guess it would be 60 weeks worth of schoolwork. So that's going to be plenty for him. One thing to note is they updated pretty much all of these add-on pages. They no longer have, I think, any color on any of them. So this one used to have like a hot pink fuchsia color bar, and you couldn't change that. Like you couldn't choose a different color. It was just going to be that color. He said he didn't really mind the color, but I appreciate that they went with a more minimal design, and I think it helps to not have so much color on the page for him. They were sweet enough to accommodate my request to get these pages that were updated, even though my order was placed a few days before they make changes on the website. So that was really nice of them. Another kind of fun spread that we decided to add for my daughter, she really liked the look of these tracker pages. And what it is a spread for each month, and they're like different pictures that you can fill in the colors for each day of the month. It's kind of just a fun, creative little extra thing she wanted to include in her planner. Another thing I'm not really sure we're going to use, but I wanted to have on hand and maybe try, is these brainstorm pages. What this is I think a separate section at the back of the book where it has these like project planning pages. I thought this might be really useful for them if they're planning, say, a big science project or a big essay or research project. They can break that down into steps and milestones and goals for themselves and kind of keep themselves accountable and on track working on those bigger projects. The last thing I went ahead and added, and I'm not sure they'll need it, but I kind of wanted to just have it, were extra vinyl protectors. So these are like sheet protectors you can put things in. I thought it might be useful for them to put their stickers in there, or if they had loose pages and they weren't really sure what to do with them and they didn't want to punch them, they could slide those in there. These planners actually come with one already. I opted for 2 extras, I think is what I got, so they would be ready and punched to put in the kids' planners. Doing it this way, where I added on all these extra things into my planner, allowed me to get the pages that I needed to help them set up their notebooks without having to buy separate planners for them. So it was a little bit more expensive because I had to add on all these things, but I'm still just buying one planner versus like 3 separate planners. So I think that's going to be a really good option for us. I'll let you see what it looks like when you finalize your order and then put it in your cart. They, once again, want to make sure that you get a really good look at your layout and that you're happy with everything and that it's all spelled correctly. You have to approve it one last time and then you can add it to your cart, or you can save it for later if you're not, ready to purchase it yet. One thing to note though is you want to be really, really careful if you save something for later. You don't want to wait too long, because if they change their layout at all, if they change this layout design, or if they change this cover design, they may delete this project from your saved projects because they don't want you to order something that they've changed. That happened to me a couple times when I had a cover design that I liked and I saved it for later. Well, they changed that cover design so I could no longer, see it anymore. So that quote I put on there was gone. Just something to keep in mind. You could easily just take a screenshot of this so you know what all you put in your planner, and you could do it again if need be. Don't forget that they are going to have a back-to-school sale on Monday, July 17th. I would encourage you to wait until then to see what the discount is. I'm guessing it's going to be 15% off, but I really don't know for sure. You can always message me or email me and I can get you a code for 10% off, but you might have a better deal just waiting for that back-to-school sale, which I wish I had waited for. Don't forget to stick around because I am going to share an unboxing video after I get that in. It might be a little bit later than I want because we're closing on our house next week, so it's going to be a little crazy for the next couple of weeks, but I will get that unboxing video up for you guys. I'm also probably going to do another video that's separate from that, where I actually set up our planners and put all those pages together and see how it looks, completely done. So stay tuned for that. Of course, don't forget about the playlist link. It's down in my description. You can go check out that playlist and see what a bunch of other homeschool moms on YouTube are doing for their homeschool planning for next school year. I want to give a huge shout out to Niki over at Homeschoolology for putting this collaboration together. If you're not familiar with Niki over at Homeschoolology, you should definitely go check out her channel. She shares videos all about homeschooling, curriculum reviews, the whole 9 yards. Check out the playlist in the description, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye!